You may want to continue to keep your phones or your laptops accessible. There's a couple of other activities that I'd like you to participate in. And what I would also like is some audience participation. And that is actually not optional. Okay, there's going to be a series of questions that I'm going to go out, and I just want you folks to just tell me whatever occurs, and we'll sort of roughly split the room in half, and we'll go in one way, and I'm just setting it up for you. I'm going to pose a question, whatever occurs to you, just let me know. So if I were to say like tiger, okay, you say zoo, you say India, you say stripes, you say circus, whatever pops to mind, okay? Not a definition of a tiger, but what pops to mind for that, okay? And this URL, okay, if you haven't been to it already, okay, if you could just go to that, okay, tinyurl.com/DMZY model, and if you could enter your response to that, and we'll take a look at that, okay, in just a little bit. Okay, so to start things off, okay, we're at 10:30, and I think we go until 12 o'clock. Steve, is that right? 12, right?
Sorry?
12.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 90 minutes, okay, for this. So I realize that I may be, okay, the only foreigner in this room. And when I say foreigner, I'm not referring to the fact that I'm from India, but referring to the fact that I'm from academia. Okay, so is there anybody else here from academia here in this world here? So adjunct, okay, there we go. Okay, so you got a green card there. Okay, so partial citizen over there. So okay, so what this talk is going to be about is partially I'm going to be discussing and that's maybe about 1/4 or 1/3 of what this is what we do, or at least what I do in academia, okay, related to what this whole conference is about. It's about data modeling. And then what we're going to have the rest of this is that wherever data modeling leaves off, okay, that's where I believe that AI and machine learning and so on take off from that. Okay, and so we're going to start a discussion of that today. And this is going to be sort of like a Quentin Tarantino production. This is going to be in 2 parts. Okay, so there's going to be one part that goes, okay, until noon. Okay, then we have a break, and then there's a couple of other talks. There's a keynote, and then I believe that I'm back on at 2:45 for the wrapping up session, where I'll be talking about where I'm going to leave off on this talk. Okay, and both talks, I've set them up so that, okay, they are sort of mostly independent of each other here. So if any of your friends have missed this talk and they find this interesting, okay, they can still come for the second one, and it'll be like watching a sitcom. First 10 minutes will be, this is what happened in the morning, and then we'll take off from that and do it for the rest of it. Okay, so a little bit about my background. Okay, as I said, I've fully been in academia. My undergraduate to my PhD has been in computer science. For a number of years, I was in a computer science program in Florida. And then by a very interesting set of circumstances, I had an opportunity to join a business school. This is the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. And that's when I moved from computer science over to information systems, and that was a mind-awakening experience. I grew up as an engineer, thinking that just about any problem had a technological solution to it. And then I went to a business school. I realized that technology is only a means to an end. Okay, the final end is the business side. And I slowly became more interested in the applications of AI and ML, okay, rather than in creating machine learning algorithms itself, because what was my focus when I was in computer science. Then about 12 years ago, I moved to Carnegie Mellon University, and I'm part of what's called as the Information Systems program there. And it's a very interesting blend of both technology and business, okay, and looking at ways in which technology can be applied in business. Now, I just now gave you a task of trying to capture what data modeling is about in just one word. One of the things that I try to convey to my students is that what is information systems about? And it's pretty much okay, what we've been talking about this entire conference. And if I were boiled down to just one word, okay, that's all you get to say, just that one word, and that's what information systems is all about, my choice would be value. And if you were to expand that a little bit more, I would say adding value. And you expand that a little bit more, I would say adding value using technology. And that's what information systems is about. And this is a question that I get quite often when new parents and new prospective students come. One of the questions they always have, which is a very legitimate question, what is the difference between computer science and information systems? And this is one of the responses that I give to that. And so very similar to me having a bicultural experience. I've been in the United States for 30 plus years now, but I grew up in India, and I'm very fortunate to have experienced the world's largest democracy as well as the world's oldest democracy. And very similar to that, I consider myself very fortunate to having moved between engineering, science, and business, because I think, as all of you here in this room are well aware, given the same problem, the way in which an engineer looks at it is different from the way in which a computer science looks at it, is different from the way in which a business person may look at it, and it's different from how an IS person may look at it. It's the exact same problem, and I've had a wonderful opportunity to experience all of that. One other component that I'd like to add, and this is where I would like to solicit your input for the remainder of the conference. I'm here for all of today and also for all of tomorrow, is that I'm part of an international task force that's called IS 2020. And this is a task force of 10 people, 5 from the US and 5 from abroad, and I'm one of the people representing universities here in the United States. And our task is to come up with the next version of an information systems curriculum that will be applicable across all universities in the globe. And we're in the process of having town hall meetings, talking to people in the industry, talking to people in academia, and saying, what is it that you would like to see in graduates from information systems program? Okay, so I'm very much open to all of your input. One of the things that we're focusing on is what's called a capacity-based model. We will be recommending certain courses to say what constitutes a core class. Like if anybody graduates from a degree with information systems, this is what he or she should know. But more than that, what we're looking at is that this is what he and she, not in terms of courses, okay, but in terms of what knowledge should they have, what should they be able to do. And a component that we're also working on is what is the mindset of an information systems person. And this is something that has to be, as you're all aware, has to be inculcated right from the very beginning. Perhaps the most common misperceived mindset, okay, that I see amongst my students is that when they're working on their capstone experience and working with a live client, within a few weeks, a common concern that gets raised is that the client, he or she, doesn't know what they want. And if you have that perspective there, then you're not going to be enjoying that capstone experience. Okay? But rather having the mindset that, yes, that is part of the territory. It is my responsibility to help the client, help him or her figure out what it is that they need, what it is that they want, and how do I facilitate a solution for that. So that's what we're talking about in terms of dispositions. Okay? And this is, at the very highest level, you would say like the growth mindset, saying that, okay, anything is possible, okay, and I will continue to grow, okay, as time goes by. Now, given my various affiliations over the years, I've taught a very wide range of courses, both in computer science and business and IS. But nowadays, okay, my focus, okay, tends to be on something dealing with data, and that's what, okay, both this talk as well as the afternoon talk is going to be about. And then I'm also going to very briefly refer to a new course that we created called Puzzles, Games, and Problem Solving, and I'll refer to how that ties in to what it is that we're doing here. Okay, so this is the outline of today's talk. Okay, starting off with, I want to go back to that feedback that we got in terms of like, why is it that we model? Okay. And I'll just cut to the chase and say that, okay, the difference, okay, between what it is I think tends to happen in database circles is that we model to understand the domain. Okay? Whereas in AI and ML, you model to understand the data and to get a better understanding of that. And then one step beyond that is that you model to reason with the data. And that's the rest of my talk. Okay, I'm going to be expanding upon this and over here. So if you have to leave, okay, you would not have missed anything. You have seen the tip of the iceberg, okay, the 10%, but the 90% is now underneath it. And then